Welcome back to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games and practice games and watch them Cuphead.
What? These two sway left and right out of sync, and it really bothers me. She's overlapped him.
Like, is she slowly faster than him?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
See?
Yeah, you're right.
Run and gun, run and gun.
It does kind of like break the theme of like things being in sync with the music. Which, like, in the overworld, I don't think really matters. But that's a tiny little polish thing. This is adorable. What is happening?
Oh, yeah, he can hurt you.
Oh, yeah, he's got little teeth.
Oh, okay. All right, Nathan.
He's like the, ooh. Kind of reminds me of, that balloon's my favorite. It's like the pretty-looking Dropsy the Clown balloon. I just want to love you.
Come back.
You have your,
What are you trying to...
What's his name? What is his name? What's his name? You're gonna be mad at me that I forgot his name. What's the name of the wizard in Mario? Kamek?
Kamek Koopa.
Kamek.
Oh, God damn it.
This is not at all what I'm asking. You're giving me too much information. That's the Kamek, man. He's the Kamek of Cuphead.
Totally is, man. Totally is.
Nice. I don't know why I made a big deal about it.
No.
Whoa. Did you die? Oh, you died.
Yeah, and then I restarted after getting hit once. But we're gonna pretend that didn't happen, even though I admitted to it. Mech. Oh. Ow, man.
Now, if only if he hit, like...
That ball's red. It was blue before.
What?
Yeah. This is even...
Oh, they can shoot this.
Oh, man. Really?
Gee, thanks.
What was I supposed... What am I supposed to... What?
Hold on. I think that's just gonna stand... Oh, there it goes. Man, we've had a real knack for pop-ups appearing on the show lately. Windows.
This music reminds me so much of Super Mario. It's not even funny.
Oh.
You hear it?
Yeah, man. It's that same... It's the right kind of, like, upbeat nature to it. With, like...
It's a diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle, diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle.
Pretty sure that balloon was always red, Nathan. You're just seeing things.
The one he's walking on.
Yeah.
No, that one. That time it was blue, dude.
The first one was blue. The second one is red. There's two of them.
Chris, stop making shit up, man.
That's what I do best.
Oh, what? Boom. No.
Oh, I'm really happy, by the way, that dropping isn't insta-death.
So, I think that... It's awesome you bring that... Oh, actually, wait a second. Do. Come on. Do.
Is this an achievement?
Do.
Is it like 7 in a row?
I don't think there's... I think it's like once you get to 4 or 5. I'm just having fun with it now. Okay.
Did I get that achievement already? Must have.
You might have, but there's also more than just an achievement. It's also more than an achievement. There's a little guy that's like, hey, you did it. Here's a corn. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, how about that?
Huh.
Bit of a...
It's a bit of a level design flaw.
Yep.
I mean, at least there's more level after him. I kind of thought he might have been a mid-boss, and I was like...
What are you doing over there, buddy?
He's like, I don't even know why I exist! As they shoot, like, mustard, cheese, and...
Oh, no. Definitely. It's mustard, ketchup, and... Oh, relish. Can't you tell?
Oh.
It's totally a hot dog thing.
Oh, it's green.
Oh, right.
I thought it was, like, unground mustard. I was like, I don't know. Like Grey Poupon.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Getting hit by mustard. You're gonna be stained.
Man, right there. So, this is one of the... When I say that this is an almost perfect game, the thing that drives me nuts most about Cuphead is its hitboxes. Shit.
In terms of...
Okay. In terms of the player trying to avoid getting hit by an enemy. Not like the attacks, their projectiles are generally spot on. Whoa,
like enemy bodies?
Really, man?
Oh,
No.
I was gonna say, just keep going,
No.
man.
No. Yeah. The animation on
Ooh. Whoa. Nice.
the animation on the enemies can get a little confusing as to where the hitboxes begin and end. So there are times I'll get hit by things, specifically when you're like on a when you're on a platform, just like you know how I just got hit by the mustard there.
Right. I mean, that one didn't seem like it.
That one wasn't that bad. It reminded me. That's actually why I'm bringing it up, though.
That's fair. I mean, that makes it. I kind of figured that was the case. Woof. 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 Man. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so there'll be times later where I'm just like, oh, I didn't think they could hit me.
That's fair. I wonder what the right solution is. Like, do you think it's just that their hitboxes are sometimes too large? Or do you think it's more of a matter of, like, they're... yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's probably more their movement than anything.
I could see that being a thing. Like, because a lot of them have...
I think it's because their animation more than anything.
Because they're so wobbly. They're so stretchy and weird.
Yep.
Which is part of the whole, like, telegraphing kind of idea behind their animation. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't feel a lot of that while I was playing, but I also didn't get as far as you.
It gets worse later on. It's more when you're seeing, like, 80 projectiles on a screen, you're like, ah!
Ah, that's fair. I mean, even at that point, too, you have to deal with, like, managing... Whoa, I was worried you were going to fall off there.
I wonder if I'll get hit or still
points for that.
Yeah, or if I have.
Oh yeah, like do they have to? Huh? That's a good question.
Let's find out.
Oops. 2 minutes on the dot.
Oh, this one doesn't actually require to use supers.
Well, I mean, I think that's okay actually because
if anything, I got a lower rank because I took too long. I wonder if I was 1 second shorter, if I would have... That's funny.
Huh. Yeah, I guess that's the disincentive for, like, farming to get to, like, get a bunch of supers.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you just crank out a lot of time and then you lower your ranking.
Yup.
Welcome.
Love him.
He's pretty cool.
Roundabout, automatic parry... Chaser can actually be pretty useful or actually detrimental.
What does it do? Long range, low average damage?
It's a homer.
Oh!
Yeah, let's go ahead and get
so
it.
that's an easy one to spam, so you're more likely to hit a lot.
Yeah.
You're just not dealing as much damage.
Basically how it works is when the boss is the only thing on the screen, you're always doing damage. But when other things are on the screen, you like will home on them instead, and
it doesn't let you prioritize what you want.
Yeah. It's a very weak attack, so if there's a lot of things on the screen, your shots are going all over the place, but not actually killing anything, because it's a weak shot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of like a...
risk-rewards.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
It's not a weapon you can use in any matchup. It needs to be... Actually, there's another run and gun. What are we doing on time?
We have 6 minutes.
Yeah, we could do another run and gun, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, weird. I never considered how homing would be detrimental in this game, but...
There's a lot of enemies that will, like, explode and become more of a nuisance once they die. Actually, not mission right there.
Yeah.
The balloons.
Yeah, in not being able to prioritize attacks, I mean, you still get a little bit of influence with that, but maybe not, like, enough to prevent the downside, I guess. So... Yeah, no, that's interesting as a design. The other big thing too is that so many whoa. I guess I should have expected that based on things running on the ceiling, but you know. The other big thing too is that I mean maybe this is just my playstyle more than anything. Oh, this is a good weapon for this boss, it seems.
Yeah. Actually, I used the charge shot on the first time I did this, and it tears through it. That's the easiest part about that. I actually made that look very easy. I'm gonna be honest with you, that that area took me a little bit to get used to, because I didn't realize that those giant ducks, you can duck under them, which is funny because they're ducks, and that may have been intentional.
I could see that being a thing. It's kind of funny if that's true. I always like enemies like this that kind of like shoot and then shift. Those make a lot of sense. Like, they have very predictable patterns. But in a weird way, I feel like they always kind of like trick you, even though it should be obvious what their behavior is.
Alright,
nice.
Alright.
Oh man, oh, that's so stressful to watch. Oh, yeah, don't worry about talking. This is
I said before, say again. I'm making look easy out. There's one.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of what makes this game so difficult is managing what you are perceiving. Like, being able to pay attention to so many moving objects at once is inherently a difficult task for the human brain to catalog.
Yes.
You just can't keep track of everything.
All right, ready for this?
Oh, not ready for this. That's so stressful. I'm not into it. This is the peak of the difficulty in the platforming of this game right here.
Yeah.
And I feel like it might still get worse.
Crap.
Oh, you got this. You have to. Oh boy.
First try.
I didn't want to sit through that again. It would.
The homing made that
racing.
way easier. Actually, I think homing was the last weapon I got. I remember because I used a charge shot in that one, and homing was the last weapon I got. Because I looked, I was like, I don't want no homing weapon. I'm better than that. That made that so much easier, because if not, and all those platforms, you have to use when you lock yourself into place and shoot at angles, you have to do that like all the time. That's one of those
especially
stages
with
that
moving
teaches you to do that.
platforms.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh no, sir. I'm not good enough at platformers. I can fight the bosses.
Oh man, pretty happy with myself on that one.
Oh, but I was saying, shit, what was I saying?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about platforming. Oh,
Sugar.
so the homing is interesting too, because it deals less damage. A lot of this game benefits the player if you're able to kill things faster, because it knocks down the amount of things you have to pay attention to on screen. So a weapon that inherently kills enemies slower, in a way, ramps up the difficulty because you have to pay attention to more things.
Oh, absolutely.
But paired with the homing, it makes a lot of sense because you don't have to pay attention to your bullets as much.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to hit something.
Yeah, so I really like that as a weapon choice. I think that's a nice balance for that weapon.
Oh, yeah, and I like the fact that the more things there are on a screen to shoot, the less effective the weapon actually is. You would think it would be a good way to spam and just destroy everything, but since it's so weak, it's actually worse. So
in a way, it's good in short bursts, but if the long term, it probably is going to get you killed.
Yeah. If you're like, you can use one weapon as your main assault when you're able to focus fire on the enemy, and then the moment they start throwing a bunch of crazy attacks at you, you switch to the homing because you're not thinking about which direction to shoot in. So I mean, like, this is amazing about the game. Let's take a look. We have pea shooter, right? And this is your basic weapon. And it is just, it's, as you said before, it never gets bad. I mean, you have to always be good at some points where you have to do angled shots and things like that. But otherwise, it's just a really good attack. You have this. The spread is the biggest risk-reward weapon in the game.
Oh, yeah. Because you have to be up close. I mean, that's partly why I died so much, because I refused to not use spread.
Yeah, and I understand that. I went through that phase too. I'm pretty sure everybody did.
Oh, yeah, because if you can shoot it with 3 bullets each time, why would you choose
5.
If you could shoot 5 bullets each time, why would you choose the one that shoots with 1 bullet each time?
Just because you get hit all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, most powerful weapon for DPS, but biggest risk. Then you have the chaser, which is the very opposite, which is weakest weapon in the game, but you're able to shoot from any angle because it homes in on them.
Lowest risk.
Yep, lowest risk. The lobber is actually the medium range one, and You can make it long range, but you have to be more skilled. It requires a higher skill.
It does. The lobber is not effective against enemies that have specific damage points, though.
No, as I said, otherwise you would need to have a really high skill in order to pull it off. You have the charge shot, which is another high skill weapon because it basically requires you to avoid a bunch of attacks, not get hit, and then you get to do a big attack on them when the enemy opens themselves up. It'll become more apparent later on when that's useful.
I will say the one disadvantage of the charge is that it technically counts as an additional thing for the player to pay attention to.
That's why it's the highest. Maybe that's arguably the highest risk then, because you're normally having to focus on the enemy and all the attacks coming at you.
Yeah, basically,
now you have to focus on yourself.
Your position in relation to attacks. Then you have to start focusing on when you release the attack.
Yeah, and we can't hear it very well, but sound is a very big indicator. You hear it go. You hear it go. It lets you know when it's ready. Unlike Mega Man, where you're like, you get more used to the feel of it before you get used to hearing it.
I was gonna say, yeah, Mega Man, you just kind of inherently start an internal timer. You're like, I've been waiting 2 seconds. That means it's fully charged.
Yep, in this one you can hear it, but we're at a disadvantage. And then finally, we unlocked it with the second player, but the roundabout.
Oh right,
boomerang where it shoots backward. And that requires a lot of skill in the sense that you're like not a lot of skill, but if you're able to spam it, no problem. But yeah, I love the weapons in this game. They're all very, very well designed.
Yeah, I agree. They're nicely balanced too. Honestly, there's such a clear advantage and disadvantage to each. And I think it reads clearly. And in practice, I think it shows that they were not particularly broken. I mean, we even kind of talked about this a couple episodes ago with how some are better for some bosses than others.
Yeah.
And so that even that alone creates for an interesting and complex array of challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it. Good weapon design.
We are at time.
Yes.
We went through the funhouse level. We didn't talk too much about it, but I feel like we should still have a question about the fact that we can walk on ceilings.
So to me, it was the pinnacle of difficult platforming. And sure, there was combat, but I don't think that was the focus of that zone.
I made that look so easy. I'm not saying I'm really good. I mean, I died doing that level a lot.
Your skill set. You have two very specific skill sets as a player of games. You're very, very good at strategically minded things, and you're really good at two-dimensional platforming.
That's true. Never been good at the three-dimensional one.
That's where I come in.
That's fair.
Anyone that watched our Poi playthrough saw me break the physics of that game.
Awesome.
I mean, not that bad, but anyway. Question of the day, unless you want to talk about it some more.
No, dude, what, I guess, how do you want to phrase the question?
Question of the day, how do they utilize the level design in the Funhouse level to focus on the platforming? And there's the obvious answer of the gravity shift, right?
Yeah, but there was also avoiding enemies, using ducking, and having to do angled shots.
Exactly. There's a lot more going on than the immediate challenge, I think.
God, this game has so much to talk about. All right, cool. Well, till next time.
Bye.